Hey everyone, returning to our picture, we are going to complete it today. So keep your eyes on everything that we need to get in terms of details. Remember, we can barely see a lot of the parts of this cat in the dark, so which is why we're doing it on a black piece of paper. We use the black of the paper to our benefit. So let's get back in. So again, orange mineral. We have our colors here for you all to see. So moving on, the left side of the cat's face is in the darker tones, so we don't really have to go in there too much. Moving forward, let's see now. I want to create the different spots that I see, and all I'm doing is, notice, I'm just kind of stroking around a certain space, hence I get my spots. If I want to intensify a certain area and then create a spot, I can definitely do that. So I try to avoid coloring over the whole area, and I just go straight into creating my spots as I see them. Space them out so you've got one prominent dot right here, a few here, and I want to create a crease that's going down the forehead of my cat. Hence, I will just make a longer line, just like that. So I've got a black line dividing the area inward, and keep on going with creating the dots as I see them. Now, next, we're on top of the white spot, and we're just going to keep on pulling in our mineral orange coming into the whole thing. Then we're going to create another long stroke on a black kind of a stripe sorts. Then I want one more stripe sort of a thing. It's almost like it arches above the cat's eye. Really makes it look very powerful. I want it to not be so far apart, so after all, it's only pencils, and all I have to do is keep on putting them down as I see them. Keep on going. And now this part where I put a stroke that I don't need, I'll take my black and I'll numb it out. There you go. You can put in your black along with the mineral orange just to reinforce the natural feeling of fur. I'm going to rechange this line a little bit. I want to get it a little bit more straighter up, coming around here. And the fur, as we go out to the side of the cat's face, tends to go stroking to the side more than anything else. Just look at the spots as you feel like you're getting done. Do you want to touch up on them or not? Is something that you would sink in with the image that you're working with. Gonna put a few stripes right here, a few strokes for the fur. Then I'm gonna leave this guy black, and I'm going to end. But as I get upward into this section, I'm going to reduce pressure, and I'm going to let the feeling of darkness start to trickle in again. You have got white coming along right about here. So darkness followed by a white patch on the eye right about here, but it's not very, very bright because it's kind of getting a shadow. So I'm going to not enforce too much brightness. But you having said that, I do need to give it the feeling of being white right there. And then it kind of carries on behind this patch right here. To where I can go back in. And I would like to make this a little bit more broader versus what I've got it at right now. Just increase the size, the dimension, very easy to do. Right there. And then I'm gonna numb out this white line right here. Don't need it. Right over there. So that's gone. We want to add in our whites around here. Change the direction of your stroke. This makes a big, big difference. I'm going on the underside of the cat's eye. I cannot be stroking upward at this point. So simple stuff, but a lot of times students I think fail to realize that they need to do that. And I've seen that far too often to not mention it. So you need to pay attention to the way that the fur is wrapping around the face of the cat. Right there. We want to bring in a tiny bit of a orange just on the crest of this white patch. It just shows very barely, not very prominently. It's almost like a halo wrapping around the eye. A few more strokes right about here. Not too much, just enough. And then coming into here, this point. So again, we have the spots for the whiskers right about here, so we have a big one here. I'm drawing it lightly because if I make the mistake of drawing it very, very dark, it will go against what I've been trying to achieve on working on a black piece of paper. So right over here, we have got put it back to normal. Creating some dark spots, because when I had done the fur on this part of the cat's face, I did not try to leave the circles because I felt that I could just as easily just go back into it and cover up the area. So we have, if you can see me doing this, and so we are going to create the black. Going back to the white. It's all the details. So when you think about how can I accelerate my skills, like what did I not do in the last picture? Well, it's as simple as the details. Picking up so much of the minute details does not mean to say that you intensify the work. What I'm trying to tell you, I guess, is that you have to see where all you can capture the muscle structure, the movement, like the way that the fur would wrap around a certain part of the animal's body. All these things help build the final product. Notice that I'm reducing pressure as I'm going Just a few strokes along this side, but not a lot. So anywhere that I want to reinforce my black spots, I can go back with my black pencils. And remember, even the spots are not circles, technically, they're dots, and dots of black fur on the cat's body. So you really do have to take your time and just build those up for yourself. It's detail, that's all it is. So again, the cool thing about art, we have artists that span from the famous Miss Laurel Birch going on to our painters from the Wild Safari area that spend so much of their time there, professional artists that do a bunch of realistic paintings and they capture every minute detail. But both of them, both entities give us some amazing artwork. I mean, they're nothing like each other, but yet they work really, really well in harmony with each other. And people enjoy art of all types. It's not necessary that the art has to be exquisitely detailed so that the person looking at your art would enjoy it. People have their own preferences, and maybe they'll like it, maybe they will not. Art is personal. You don't have to never do art for another person. Do it for yourself. Do what you enjoy, and you will find that you'll enjoy the process of it and you will give it your best. That's very, very important, in my opinion. And especially as you all are at whatever levels that you're at. So if you're watching a tutorial video and you just want to build up on the skills, for sure, that's something that I've heard a lot of kids want to do. So give yourself the time, give yourself the space, and enjoy the process. For me, it's truly, 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 truly enjoyable to have to get to sit down to work on these projects, because a lot of times in my professional day I don't get to do it as often as I would like to do it. So this I like. This I will not complain about. There is no arguments here. I'm a happy puppy. So now I've done this, but I feel like this line is too sharp. I want to get a little bit of the black pushing into the different parts. So I'm going to take my black pencil now and bring in a little bit of darkness, and not in a very even line. That will render itself to making it look more natural versus what I've got right now. So something on the lines of this, where we can actually define our cat a little bit more. I like my right eye, I like my left eye. I'm happy with them. I want to add in some of my dark browns, just enough to kind of give it a mix in colors. Does not have to be too dark. Remember, the prominent color was the mineral orange, and yet here we are trying to put in more colors. Right there. And we are going to put in some strokes on our side over here, because they don't show, but we want to be able to do some of that. Now, what do we want? We want our whiskers. So remember, going from the face, take a sharp pencil, you need these in first. It's going to be a painful process to work on the details of our cat's whiskers. Anchor every stroke from one of the dots. That would put in the right value of our whiskers. And now a little bit of work on the body again. So you get to pick and choose because this is your own rendering. You don't have to put in more work if you feel you don't want to. Or you can just bring in enough definition to the top area here. And I think that's what we'll do. So take your orange mineral, and from the corner of the eye, we're going to start something like that. Create the lines. Don't make it very sharp. Don't go in for a lot of details. Give yourself the area that you see and that you think that you would want to capture. Remember, there are spots and areas that are sectioned off because of the dark spots. Honestly, you don't, whenever you feel I like what I see and I want to stop, just stop. There's no rule about this thing. No one's judging you. So you really do want to take it to whatever you want it to be. I'm adding in a touch of peach, and I'll be going back over these first strokes with my black pencil and my burnt orange one more time. Light pressure based on whatever you think that you see or you don't see. You have to rely on your visuals and trust them. They won't guide you wrong. I'm almost going to wrap this up. Again, take the detail as much or as little as you want to take it. This is not about what should be the right thing or the wrong thing. If you can look at a picture and feel content. That's all you really need. I want to sharpen my black pencil and just add in a few hairs. So give me just a quick minute. And so quick right over here, because I had made an original line over there and that I still see, and I don't want it to be so prominent. So I want to make sure, and I'm going to add in a few strokes on my black pencil all over, just to kind of spread out the light and dark effect, and that would be it. There you have it. That is going to be our lesson and completion to our Ocelot. We're going to be putting out more videos, so keep looking for the subject of your choice. If there's something that you wish to learn how to draw, it'd be great to hear from you. Just put the request down below and we will make sure that we get a video out for it. Thank you.